Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is The Raptor, and oh boy, today we are going to be watching the new live-action Lilo and Stitch trailer. This came out a day before my birthday. Gee, Disney, you really shouldn't have. But before I start watching this, let me kind of explain my general stance and attitude towards this kind of thing. I am very, very upset with how common Disney live-action remakes have become. At best, I find them just unnecessary, and at worst, I find them like just heartless, soulless versions of the original that just turn out to be badly made movies. I know they make a lot of money. I do not give a shit. I just don't like that they're so popular now. For one thing, they have like zero rewatchability because you might see it in theaters or on streaming once because, you know, you're kind of interested, but you're never going to choose to rewatch it over rewatching the original, you know what I mean? So that's already kind of a big problem. And to me, they're just emblematic of a severe lack of creativity, not just, you know, in the general entertainment industry, but like specifically Disney as well. So, you know, that's kind of sad. The one remake that I saw that I actually think, you know, I might choose to rewatch sometimes over the original is like The Jungle Book from, I think it was like 2016, because they actually changed enough stuff to give it some new like emotional significance, and I really appreciated that. I kind of wished more remakes did that, but they really don't. They don't change enough things to like really make it worth watching. And then sometimes if they do change things, or just generally with adaptations, if you change too many things, then people will get upset anyway. So you're not really able to please that many people, are you, by doing this? So yeah, it just kind of sucks like that. And honestly, even though I know these movies are not really highly regarded, I think something that's more akin to Cruella or Mufasa the Lion King are better ideas in concept, because if you must do your stuff in live action, even though I don't think that's necessary, but if you must do it in live action, I think that telling new stories, whether it's like a prequel or a sequel or whatever, is still better than just retelling a story that you've already told in a better way, you know what I mean? So already I'm not loving that this is happening, but in terms of Lilo and Stitch specifically, the reason why I'm making this video is because anyone who's seen this channel knows that I am very protective of that property. Lilo and Stitch, the first movie, is probably my favorite Disney movie. It's like top 2, top 3 at least, but Stitch himself is definitely my favorite animated Disney movie character of all time. I love him so much, and they have not done that much marketing for this movie up until this point. Like, this is the first full trailer, and assuming they're not changing the release date or anything, this is coming out in like, what, a little over 2 months? So this feels a little late for like a full trailer, but they were doing some marketing for it, like the posters and very short trailers and the Super Bowl thing and all that, and I have to admit, I have enjoyed the marketing up until this point, because a lot of it is very reminiscent of the old marketing where Stitch would cross over with other Disney properties, and I actually think that's awesome. Like, no shade at all. Like, I think that is amazing that they decided to do that. I really appreciated it. And from what I've seen of Stitch's design in this marketing, I can actually say that I think he looks pretty good. Like, there's always going to be something a little off about him because he's an animated movie character that was never supposed to be brought into the live action world, but from what they had to work with, you know, for what they could do, I think they pretty well nailed it. Like, he looks very Stitch-like, very cute and all that, you know? So I'm happy with all of that, but of course, there are some other things I'm worried about, like, what do the other aliens look like? I'm curious if we're going to see that in this trailer, and, you know, whether or not this movie is actually good. Is it going to be any different from the other live-action remakes, you know? And I know that a good trailer is not indicative of, like, a good movie, but either way, let's watch this, because I've yapped on long enough, and I'll see what kind of vibe they're going for, and then I'll talk about it afterwards. So, yeah, let's go. Okay, alarms. Oh, I mean, that looks like a pretty cool shot.
Where is he?
He escaped.
Grand Councilwoman.
He's trying to find the police cruisers.
He took the red one.
Yes, he did.
What hideous planet is caught in your crosshairs?
Shooting star!
Lilo and Nani.
I wish for a friend. Like a best friend.
I mean, beat for beat, so far very similar to the original.
What the hell?
So it's still coming out Memorial Day, okay. He starts very small.
He's so cute and fluffy.
He is your responsibility.
I wonder if we're gonna see him grow.
Get down from there!
Look like an angel.
Okay, superb music choices so far.
Hey, what are you doing?
Oh no! Okay, that was pretty cool.
No. Dogs on the table.
You sure that's a dog?
Yeah, no, it's not a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, very smart puppy. Hot wiring a car.
We are not keeping this thing.
Ohana means family. Family means
Nobody gets left behind.
Or forgotten.
Yes. Little troublemaker.
Stitch bad.
Sometimes family isn't perfect. That doesn't mean they aren't good. That's close. I don't
You're gonna
think
learn
you're supposed to
see him
drink that.
learn to speak. No, I wouldn't drink too much of that. Of the water wings.
We have a blue dog.
Kind of needs to. Oh, that was Bubbles. Okay. I mean, that looks like Pleakley.
No. I'm gonna give you to the count of 3, Stitch.
Ooh.
1.
No, he doesn't care. Okay. So that was the trailer. Let's actually go back and rewatch it. Let's see what else we can pick up on. Maybe pause a little bit. So that is a very cool shot. I will say that looks pretty good.
Where is he?
I wish his red suit had a little more design to it. Looks a little plain.
He took the red one.
But this, the
hideous
space stuff
planet
looks pretty
is
good so
caught in
far.
your crosshairs.
At least anything that has to deal with metal. Like, you don't have to animate, like, alien flesh or anything.
I wish for a friend. Like a best
A
friend.
lot of this, though, again, like, beat for beat from the original. Down to, like, this shot, this very iconic shot. It's weird, because normally Stitch is the same size as
Your
Lilo.
responsibility.
But I guess you can't really do that in live action. So maybe he'll stay around the same size. But it'd be nice to see maybe we can see him grow a little bit.
No. Control him. Hey, what are you doing?
And a lot of the very familiar feeling, like, hijinks, but they are switched up a little bit.
You should have
Not all of this is beat for beat from the movie. But still keeping Stitch's personality. And again, song choices, Elvis, and the original track. Glad they kept that.
Family means nobody gets left behind.
Or forgotten.
This looks like this will be a funny movie.
Stitch bad.
Sometimes family isn't perfect. That doesn't mean they aren't good. That's close. I don't think you're supposed to drink that.
I mean, this feels very nice, but a lot of it is still, again, the same feelings as the first movie. Maybe recontextualized a little bit.
Agent Cobra Bubbles. We have a blue dog to catch.
So I see that Jumba and Pleakley are gonna be in human form a lot of the time. And the guy dropped his ice cream. Yeah, of course. Good to put that in there.
I'm gonna give you to the count of 3, Stitch.
Actress for Lilo. Seems like she's doing a good job. You gotta give that a little more credit too, because acting opposite basically nothing, like an animated character, is really difficult to do. So, I think back to, the Sonic movies where, Tom has to act opposite, like, just, a mold of Sonic the whole time, like that's got to be difficult to do. So, props to her and props to everyone that, has to interact with Stitch and all that and all the other aliens. So that was the trailer. I do have some thoughts. So again, just as far as putting the trailer together goes, like, I think this is a pretty nice trailer. Like, they went over a lot of the big things that I would have liked to see from, like, a Lilo and Stitch adaptation. Ohana means family. Family means no one gets left behind or forgotten. Like, that's really important. I'm glad they put that in there. They got the surfing in there. They showed, like, the intro scene of him, like, escaping. That was all good. We got, like, a shot of Grand Councilwoman's back. I think she's voiced by the woman from Ted Lasso. Is that right? That'll be interesting to see. But yes, so my biggest concern was how Jumba and Pleakley were gonna look. We didn't really get a shot of Jumba in alien form, just Pleakley, and I'll admit it does look strange. Like, it looks like Pleakley, but I don't really think it looks that good. The problem is that, like, fur, it might be difficult to animate. Fur is definitely really hard to animate, but, like, you can make it look good if you put in enough time, because it'll just look like an earth animal, or the hair will look like earth animal hair, you know, like that at least looks somewhat familiar, but Pleakley does not look familiar to anything we have, you know, so that's going to be difficult. And Jumba, like, goodness gracious, like, I can see why they're keeping them in human form for, you know, a lot of this movie, or for some of this movie at least. But again, like, I kind of see that as a bit of a cop-out. It will depend on, like, you know, how much of the human forms are in the movie, and, you know, if it's significant to the plot, you know, that kind of thing. I'm sure it will be, because again, they need to, like, infiltrate and stuff like that. But there gets to a point where, at, like, closer to the end of the movie, there's going to be no reason for them to be in human form, I assume. So, you know, that'll kind of dictate that. But yeah, so again, it feels very nice. It feels like what Lilo and Stitch should feel like, which is good. But I feel like I can also say this about a lot of the trailers, like a lot of these live action Disney remake trailers. Right now, I'm not given a lot of evidence to believe that this will be different enough to be worth it. And of course, if it is different enough to be worth it, then that probably comes, you know, with some kind of twist or whatever, and they might not want to put that in the trailer. So, I don't want to jump to conclusions just yet. All I can say is that it is a very nice trailer, like, for a Lilo and Stitch remake. But again, I'm still not 100% sure if a Lilo and Stitch remake is really what I want. I would be a lot more excited for this if I knew that this meant that there was the prospect of, like, animated Lilo and Stitch content coming back, whether it's like another movie or another TV show, or hell, even more anime. Like, I'd be really excited if that's kind of what that meant, but that hasn't really happened with any of the other live action remakes. And I know Disney, there was a rumor that Disney may want to go back to some hand-drawn animation, which I would really, really love, whether or not that applies to Stitch. But, you know, I'd be a lot more excited if it kind of meant that was the direction they were going, but I just know for a fact it's not. And I know Disney would never do this, but if this was kind of modeled off of, like, say, the Sonic movies, the live action Sonic movies, where it's kind of like a series of movies, and each movie there was like a new experiment or two new experiments, and, you know, they're doing stuff that is very reminiscent of the original content, but, you know, not exactly the same. I would probably love that, especially if we weren't getting any other Lilo and Stitch content. You know, that would probably be really exciting to me, but I just know Disney is never going to do that, you know? So again, a lot of the emotions feel like they are on point. I'm not sure if there's going to be enough changes to, you know, really change the emotional significance, because I do not want it to be exactly the same. But as a trailer itself, it's a pretty good trailer. I just need to make sure that this is worth it. And of course, that might come from reviews or something like that. But, you know, it is nice to see Stitch again. I still think his design looks good, but we'll really just have to wait and see. But yeah, what did you think of this trailer? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Are you going to see the movie? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Subscribe if you could too. That'd be amazing. Would really help my channel out. But no matter what, thank you for watching, and I will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out.